Thank you. First, I want to acknowledge all the remarkable people that are on Main Street helping people make a difference. Thank you all. And part of, for Representative Rosario and myself, as legislative leaders, to welcome them into the Capitol and give them a voice in sharing the great work that they do is one of the important roles that I believe we've done from a bipartisan basis, bicameral basis, from the Senate to the House. It is important. And I think a basic theme is good people make mistakes. And I think we have a social as well as a humane responsibility to create pathways for people to be able, who have paid their mistakes, and to move on forward. I think I always equate formerly incarcerated as the modern day scarlet letter. It impacts so many of us, and I think we've done some good work in the legislature addressing these issues. But what has been reported in this survey, and I encourage people to read through it, you may not be surprised by the data points, but what this report does is provide pathways and target points for us to address. I think the first and foremost is to look at housing. And I'm grateful to have the Department of Housing representative, former Representative McGee, present. I think we need to find solutions to be able to give people a roof and a foundation in order to be able to begin their pathway to reentry. So housing, without a doubt, and Representative McGee formerly and I battled quite a few on that, but I think the goal is important. You need to have a foundational start. I think the second critical part that's being addressed here is health. Health, not only physical, but mental, and support in substance abuse. I think it is one of the incredible coping mechanisms for people that have gone through incredible hardships that most of us could never imagine. The environments in which they've had to grow, the elements in which they had to endure. Part of that has been the substance abuse to allow them to survive. I think we need to do a better job to understand the mental health support as well as the health conditions of those that are seeking another pathway and a better way. I think the third critical element is a job. Be able to acquire skills that are practical and functional and sustainable. Because in addition to having foundation of a roof over your head, in addition to having your health and the capability to be able to move forward, it is critical to have an opportunity to earn your keep. So these are the three elements that I drew from the great report and the data collected here. And it is one of the important roles that we have to be able to support that initiative in a bipartisan basis to address the element. Because ultimately, it should not be just about the headlines of who did what in the front pages of criminal acts. It should also be equally splashed in our front pages of the tremendous success stories of people who have made and paid their debts to society but deserve a second chance. And I'll leave on this note. We talked about the Welcoming Center. Seems so simple. How many people have you talked about that their first point of entry after being released is the loneliness and the isolation of having no one? A welcome center, and the feedback that I've gotten from people that have been received in the warmth and the welcome of a welcome center cannot be overstated. Now, we were fortunate to have that funded through ARPA money. And what is important for this legislature and the appropriating bodies to understand, that dries up. We have to renew that commitment financially because it has shown it to work. It's shown it to be value added. But so let us not be penny wise and pound foolish. Let us renew that support for our welcome centers. Let us focus on the issues of health, jobs, and housing. So thank you very much for allowing me to be part of this.